Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt video. Today I wanted to talk about esports and Asphalt and ask the question, should Asphalt 9 be an esport? Should there be a competitive side to Asphalt 9? Now, we saw it kind of in Asphalt 8. There were clan battles and things like that, and really the idea of people competing against one another in an Asphalt game started in Asphalt 8, especially with the time limited events, and the more faster your time is, the better your prizes are. So people started, of course, competing with each other to get the fastest time, and that's really where it was born. And then we started having 1v1s, and GameLoft even started featuring 1v1s on the Asphalt channel between different community members. So Asphalt 8 was really when competitive Asphalt was kind of born, I guess you could say. And in Asphalt 9, we saw it briefly. They did feature some 1v1s early on and different things like that, and we could see that, you know, for the time limited events, time was everything. Of course, the faster your time was, the better your rewards would be, and so on and so forth. However, it wasn't until recently that they actually took things seriously, and right now there is an actual tournament going on called the ESL Open Mobile, or the Mobile Open, whatever they call it, and it's actually hosted by ESL, which, if you don't know, they are one of the biggest esports companies out there. They do like Counter-Strike and a bunch of other games, and so when I heard about this, I was like, holy crap, they're actually taking this kind of seriously, which is a bit amazing. And so what I wanted to do is talk about this tournament and what it kind of means for Asphalt to be competitive, and if in fact that could be a thing, because as we know, in racing games, and especially Asphalt, there's a lot of things that you sometimes don't have control over. For example, and this is the biggest thing I wanted to talk about in Asphalt 9 in terms of competitive, and that is the AI, because the AI in this game is, yeah, if you play this game, you'll know that they are a bit crazy, especially when you're underneath the required rank, and especially when you try to play competitively. The AI adds a bit of luck element, and it adds a bit of randomness to the game that you don't have control over. So, and that thing, you know, in that aspect, in a competitive game, that's not really wanted. You know, in Counter-Strike, everything is very controlled, everything is in a tight environment, there's not a lot of randomness. The only randomness you really have in a game like Counter-Strike per se is timing between players, and even that, to a certain extent, you go into like the psychological aspect of it, like trying to predict where people are. So in that sense, it's not really that random. But in Asphalt 9, the AI is truly random. Every single time you start a race, even if it's the same race and they all have the same ranks, they will go a different route and they'll churn at a different point, and you won't be able to predict it. And so I've been competing in this tournament for ESL, and I've made it to the last stage of the online qualifiers, and I'm actually number 8. And I need to get to number 2 in order to go to DreamHack Dallas, which I believe is in partnership with ESL. But anyway, the track is Whirlwind Curve, and you're going to see gameplay of my attempts on screen. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record my best attempt, but that's besides the point. But you can see every time I start a race, the AI does something different. One time they'll completely screw me over, and maybe the next time they'll go out of my way, but reappear later in the race. And that is a big problem if Asphalt wants to be truly competitive. Now, on the Discord, they actually answered a question, and it was like, could you please remove AI opponents from leaderboard events? Now, GameLoft responded, AI opponents are a part of the Asphalt experience, adding randomness and difficulty so that every race is different, even if you manage to perform identically every time. That said, we are aware of such demands, and I just got a ding, which is funny. That said, we are aware of such demands, which is why we create certain events focused purely on competition without AI opponents. Well, then why is this event have AI opponents in it if they are able to do this? Which really makes me question what GameLoft are thinking. So they have the capability to do this, and I think this my point throughout this video, what I'm trying to say is that if Asphalt wants to be competitive, they really have to remove the AI component in competitive races, and it sounds like they have the ability to. And from what I've seen, and I've played pretty much every single time limited event that Asphalt 9 has had since launch, and I don't remember any single event besides the daily loot that has not had AI opponents in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe every single time limited event, at least the ones that are like kind of competitive that you need to have a good time on, they have all had AI opponents on, and that always adds a bit of randomness that you don't have control over, which doesn't make the game very good for competitive, especially if you're talking about milliseconds of time differences in terms of, you know, going from first to second place. And so I think GameLoft are in a really weird situation where they have the opportunity to possibly make a good competitive game, but they're holding themselves back because they're constantly putting in these random factors. And also, not to mention, the physics is not really good. There are a lot of times where you don't have control over physics, like when you land your car. Sometimes it'll go crazy and like jump back up and do a bunch of flat spins. If you played Asphalt 9, you've probably experienced these types of issues. So yeah, I just wanted to start this discussion, especially with the community and people who play a lot of Asphalt, and people who just are in mobile gaming in general might have an opinion on this, because mobile gaming has been getting bigger and bigger every year, and we've seen games like PUBG really focus in on esports. Modern Combat 5 has had tournaments. So, you know, adding Asphalt 9 to that mix certainly creates a conversation. So I wanted to make this video discussing it and kind of focusing in on how the AI really kind of ruins the competitive experience of Asphalt 9. So if they do decide to continue on with these sorts of events, they really have to remove the AI in order to make it fair and competitive. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video.